This Weber assembly video is all about how to put together the Genesis 2 LX line of grills. There are about a dozen models in this family, and this video covers everything you need to know about putting all of them together. Before you get started, look for a sticker on the box that shows you exactly which model you're dealing with. In this case, it's the E340 in the propane configuration. The video you're watching is made to go hand in hand with the assembly guide that's found inside the shipping carton. Start by opening up the package and separating the shipping materials for recycling or disposal. The assembly guide shows all the parts and part quantities for the different grills in this Genesis 2 LX family. You'll need to supply your own Phillips screwdriver, but there is a wrench supplied in the parts kit. As you work, pay attention to special instructions that apply to liquid propane gas grills if you're working on a model like that. Start by removing any protective plastic you find on the outside of the grill. You'll be doing assembly work in many different situations, so look around and find a surface you can work on. Then put something soft and clean on top to protect the parts from getting scratched. Open up the grill and you'll find it packed full of the parts you'll need. You won't know what's in these boxes yet, but that's okay. You'll cut them open in a minute and discover what's inside. As I mentioned before, be sure to remove all protective materials as you find them. You definitely don't want to leave this to the homeowner. The lower cabinet has boxed parts too, and now's the time to take them out and get things ready for assembly. The regulator on propane grills is packed in bubble wrap. When you remove it, be sure to leave the warning tag in place for the homeowner. Get some help lifting the grill out of the plastic shipping tray. On top, you'll find additional parts, in this case, the cooking grates. Carefully slice open the boxes so you can see exactly which parts are inside. Turn to the first few assembly steps in the guide, and you'll see that we'll be working on the side burner table and the burner parts. If you're working on a propane model, we'll also be installing the electronic sending unit that shows the homeowner how much gas they have left in their tank. Remove the side burner table and take off the outer plastic bag and the protective film that's applied to the stainless steel surfaces. It's important that you peel this off now before you install the side burner table onto the grill. Lift the side burner lid and pull out the grate, the burner cap, and the burner ring and head. Unwrap these parts and get them ready for final assembly. All the right-hand side burner tables in the Genesis 2 LX family secure with holes that you'll find on the inside face of that side burner table. These slip over studs that are already installed in the main part of the grill. Dig out the parts tray and find two mounting strips that you'll use to secure the side burner table. Each of these strips has a concave face, and that's what you want to orient against the inside of the side burner table. You don't want to do it this way. The parts bag contains the 4 nuts that you'll need to mount the side burner table. Pull them out now and get ready to put the whole thing together. You'll find this next part of the assembly easier if you lock the casters so the grill doesn't roll around. Slip the side burner table into position on the studs, then either get someone to hold the end of the burner table up or prop it up so that you can put the brackets and nuts on and then tighten everything together. Like I mentioned before, the mounting brackets need to go concave face in. You can then put on the nuts finger tight and then snug them up either with the wrench provided or a ratchet wrench if you want to go faster. With brackets installed and tightened down on both sides of the side burner table, it's time to move on to assembling the burner parts themselves. Start with the gray-colored ring and head. It has 3 legs that stick down from the bottom, but one of them in particular needs to fit into a slot in the bottom of the burner assembly. The leg you're interested in is right next to the hole around the edge that fits over the igniter. Burner cap comes next, and it has two metal studs that fit into two holes in the top of the ring and head. The burner grate comes next, with legs that fit down into holes in the bottom of the side burner. Install the control knob, test it, then peel off the protective covering on the tank scale readout screen. This is the part that lets the homeowner see how much propane is left in their tank. This readout screen works with a sending unit that clips to the side of the tank scale, monitoring its position electronically. The tank scale is found right underneath the side burner table that you just installed, and the sending unit clips to the tank scale with the wire pointing down. Be sure to clip the wire from the sending unit into the bracket up underneath the side burner table. Flip back to the assembly guide for a minute, and you'll see that next we'll be dealing with the iGrill wiring, the igniter battery, and the gas connection to the side burner itself. iGrill is an optional wireless Bluetooth thermometer that sends cooking information to a smartphone, and this is the cable that lets it work. Fish it out from the main part of the grill, then clip it to the wire bracket that you used before to handle the wire from the tank level sending unit. While you're working under the side burner table, install the AA igniter battery in the holder with the positive terminal facing in. Now's the time to complete the gas connection to the side burner. Grab the corrugated stainless steel gas line and clip it onto the fitting that comes off of the valve. Give it a pull, make sure it's tight before you move on. Check that the side burner igniter is working by pulling off the burner cap, then flipping the knob to the igniter position. There should be an obvious blue spark coming from the electrode. The next section of the manual shows how to fasten the left side table on the 440 and 640 models. This is a fixed table and doesn't fold down out of the way, and it fastens with the same brackets you've already seen in use. The 340 model of grill that we're assembling in this video shares the same features as the 240 model in that it has a folding left side table, and that's what this next section of the video is all about. Find the fold-down bracket from your supply of parts and get ready to fasten it to the grill. There are two kinds of bolts involved. The 4 flathead screws secure the fold-down bracket to the grill, and the 2 shouldered bolts hold the side table onto the fold-down bracket. As you did before, peel off the protective film from the left side table. You've got to do it now because you can't get the film off properly after it's in place. Start by fastening the fold-down bracket to the grill using those 4 flathead screws. Next, slip the fold-down table in place with the arms of the fold-down bracket on the outside of the flanges inside the fold-down table. Install the 2 shouldered bolts through the slots in the fold-down table and into the ends of the arms of the fold-down bracket. Some assemblers find it easier to bolt the fold-down table to the fold-down bracket first, and then the bracket to the grill. Either way, when you're done, test the operation of the fold-down table, make sure it hinges down properly, and that it locks securely when lifted into position. If you're working on a propane grill, the next step involves installing the rear and front tank shields. It's a pretty simple process involving some tabs that fit into slots, as you'll see. Both tank shields are stored in the back of the bottom part of the grill. Unwrap them and then slip them in place with the tabs on the shields interlocking with the slots in the grill. Lock both shields in place with the black plastic buttons you'll find in the parts bag. Now's the time to install more batteries. We'll be dealing with D cells and some AA cells too. The D cells fit inside this large battery housing, and the AA cell fits behind this threaded cover that you'll find underneath the grill. The battery housing has sealing grease around the thread, so be careful not to rub this off. Put the D cells in the housing with the positive terminal facing down. Thread the battery housing into the bottom of the igniter module in the bottom right-hand side of the grill, and then put the AA cell in its holder with the negative terminal out. Then screw on the cap. Now's the time to install the knobs, the disposable drip pan, the catch pan that sits underneath of it, and the slide-out grease tray. While we're at it, we'll install the heat deflectors, the flavorizer bars, and the grates. The knobs include a sealing skirt to keep rainwater out from the valve mechanism, and just make sure this slips over properly when you install the knob. The knobs on this family of grills are illuminated too, so test that they light up properly before moving on. The disposable drip tray and catch pan are pretty simple. They just fit into an opening inside the grill like you see here. The slide-out grease tray has a lip on the front, so you need to orient that part properly. You should also tuck the wires up out of the way. Make sure they're well clear of where that grease tray is going to slide into. Before you move on, you should test the igniter for each of the main burners. Turn the knob to the ignition position, and there should be a nice blue spark coming from each electrode. These are the heat deflectors, and their job is to reflect heat back into the cook box for more even temperatures. Fit them in place so that the extensions on the ends fit into the grooves in the casting and the bottom of the grill. These are the flavorizer bars, and their job is to vaporize any dripped grease to enhance the taste of the food that's being grilled. The bottom of the grill casting includes notches, one for each flavorizer bar. There should be a bar over each of the burners and then a bar in between the burners as well. Place the cooking grates on the ledge that supports them, then flip the warming rack up into the horizontal position. The Genesis 2 LX family of grills includes lights that fasten to the lid handle and turn on automatically when the lid's flipped open so people can see what they're cooking at night. Remove the small Phillips machine screw that holds the grill light together, then open up the two halves. You'll find two more screws you'll need to remove to put the grill light on the handle, as well as the slide-out battery tray. Each light unit requires 3 AAA batteries, and the tray slides into the holder so that the light bulb, that little yellow square there, lines up with the opening in the housing. The 2 screws that hold together the clamp portion of the grill light are pretty small, so you may have to grab another screwdriver depending on how big your main Phillips driver is. The main body of the grill light needs to be oriented so that the light is facing down and the Weber grill insignia is facing you. And that means that the clamp portion has to be oriented this way. So the notches in the clamp portion line up with the tab in the main part of the grill light. When you're doing up the screws that secure the clamp portion of the grill light to the handle, you don't necessarily have to have it swiveled into the final position. It's easier to start the screws with the unit this way and then rotate it so that it's in the right position, and then give it the final tightening when it's the way it should be. Peel off the protective covering from the LED bulb, then snap the light portion of the grill light into place and do up the single screw that holds the 2 halves together. One thing to understand about the grill light is that it switches itself on and off depending on the position of the lid. The button on the end of the light is called an activation switch, and it can't actually shut the light off. All it can do is activate the automatic operation. Explain to the grill owner that the light will shut off automatically when the lid is closed, and it will deactivate itself after 30 minutes of inactivity. If they want to activate the light again, they need to press that button on the end. If you're assembling a propane grill, and there's a good tank of propane nearby, install it for the grill owner on the tank scale, and then hook up the regulator. Test all gas fittings with a solution of dishwashing liquid and water that you mix yourself. Spritz the solution on all gas fittings and look for bubbles that indicate leaking gas. You probably won't find any, but if you do, they will need to be fixed before the grill is turned over to the owner. When you're done, rinse off the solution with clear water. With the tank in place, test the operation of the tank scale readout indicator. As a final check, make sure all the burners work properly. Begin testing the left burner. Push the left control knob in and rotate it counterclockwise to the ignite position until you hear ticking. Hold the knob there for a couple of seconds, then slowly continue to rotate counterclockwise. The burner should ignite before the high plus position. Look for a flame through the cooking grate and the half circle cutout in the flavorizer bar. With the burner lit, push the knob in again and rotate it counterclockwise to check heat control. Repeat the entire testing process for the remaining burners. If a burner does not ignite within 4 seconds, turn the burner control knob off and wait 5 minutes to allow the gas to clear before attempting to light the burner again. Light the side burner in the same way. It will ignite as you turn the knob towards the high position. We here at Weber are very proud of the appearance of our grills, so please take the time to wipe down all surfaces with grill cleaner and a soft cloth used in the direction of the stainless steel grain. Cleaners should never have any abrasives, and wiping in the direction of the grain will prevent scratches. If the grill you're assembling has a fold-down side table, like the one here, leave the warning sticker on for the grill owner, just to make sure they don't try to pick up the grill by the extended side table. Thank you for taking the time to learn how to assemble the Genesis 2 LX family of grills like a pro. You're a valuable part of the Weber team.